Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Today's topic, we are continuing regarding questions and answers about Islamic veil, which is an important subject. Obviously, we see when we are walking on the streets, we're seeing billboards, we're seeing men who are wearing shorts and exposing their knees and thighs. We see women not covering the beauty of the hair and wearing such tight clothes. So it is important that we follow the rules and regulations of Islam so that we can safeguard our bodies from committing haram, inshallah. Like for an example I like to give, if there was a female cat, but this cat is afraid to go out because animals, they end up doing strange things. And a female cat, if it was let out, it will come back returned being pregnant. So this is the state of animals. And if a woman who exposes her body parts, her beauty of her hair, and she goes around, and then she's going to have people looking at her in an evil way. And similar for men who watch on social media, we get a lot of these adverts, a lot of these videos that are coming up on social media, on Facebook. We have to be careful of that we don't see. And sometimes from Indian continent, these are sent deliberately to your phones so that your eyes and your heart gets disturbed. And this is why blindly you start committing sins. And today, inshallah, we're going to educate ourselves regarding these matters of regarding Sitr, inshallah. So there are 4 subtypes of second category of Sitr, because we already did the first category. Now we will explain the second type of Sitr, i.e. covering outside of the Salah. In question to answer form, the rulings related to this category are further divided into 4 subcategories. Number 1, Sitr of a man for a man. And number 2, the Sitr of a woman for a woman. And number 3, the Sitr of a non-mahrim man for a woman. And number 4, the Sitr of a woman for a man. Inshallah, we'll try to cover these topics. Number 1, Sitr of a man for a man. Question, what is a man's Sitr area? Answer, a man's Sitr area is from directly under his navel up to and including his knees, excluding the navel. Shadus Sharia Badr Tariqa Alama Maulana Mufti Muhammad Amjad Ali Azmi alayhi rahmatullahi al-Qawi wrote, a man may look at every part of another man's body except those parts that must remain concealed, meaning hidden. That is the area below the navel, below the knees. Covering this area is obligatory, meaning fard. The parts that must remain covered are called awrat. Hence, if you see someone exposing his knees, then you should prohibit him. If you see someone exposing his thighs, you should prohibit him strictly. And if he exposes his private parts, then you should punish. Remember, handing out such punishment is duty of the rulers or the police. I remember recalling there was a shop in town where there was such video making scene people attended, and there was a naked old man who entered a shop. So the police had to be called out to take this individual, and he was arrested. So if you see such scenarios like this, you should report it to the police. Now moving forward, Sitr of a child. Is it necessary to cover the knees and thighs, etc. of a baby? Answer, no. There is no harm in seeing an infant who is unclothed. On page 85, part 16 of the 312 page Bahar Shariat published by Dawat Islami publication, Department of Maktabatul Madina, Sadr Sharia Badr Tariqa Alama Maulana Mufti Muhammad Amjad Ali Azmi alayhi rahmatullahi Qawi stated, there is no awrat for a young child, i.e. it is not fard, obligatory, to cover any part of his body. But when he is a little older, then covering his private parts from back, front and back is necessary. And when he is older than 10 years old, then the ruling of the adult will apply to him. Moving to the next topic, touching the thigh of a very young child. Question, what is the ruling about touching the thigh of a very young child? Answer, This is permissible. However, if seeing or touching it arouses lust, then it is not permissible to even touch a 1 day old baby. Ma'adullah Azza wa Jal. These days, moral standards have declined drastically. There have also been reports of indecent behavior with 2 or 3 year old girls. So this is a safeguarding matter as well. So one should be clear from these matters before going closer to a child. The ruling on looking at a handsome young boy. It is permissible to look at a handsome young boy. Answer: looking at a handsome young boy can be permissible as well as prohibited. Explaining this issue, Sadr Sharia Badut Tariqa Alama Maulana Mufti Muhammad Amjad Ali Azmi alayhi rahmatullah Qawi said, if a non-handsome boy becomes a murahik, i.e. the one who has reached the age of 10 years and is close to reaching puberty, then the rule for looking at him is the same as looking at men. If he is handsome, then the ruling for a woman will apply, i.e. looking at him with lust is haram. But if there is no lust, then it is permissible to look at him as well as be alone with him. The definition of not feeling lust is that one is certain that one will not feel lust when one looks at him. If there is even doubt of feeling lust, then one should definitely not look. Feeling the desire to kiss him is also included in the definition of lust. For more detailed information, please study the booklet Grave Abuse by the People of Lut, published by Maktabatul Madina. So moving forward, the sitr of a woman for another woman now. Can a woman look at every part of another woman's body? Answer: no. A woman is not permitted to look at another woman from directly under her navel up to and including her knees. Hence, Sadr Sharia Badut Tariqa Alama Maulana Mufti Muhammad Amjad Ali Azmi alayhi rahmatullahi al-Qawi stated, the rule for one woman looking at another woman is the same as a man looking at another man, i.e. she cannot look at the area from directly under her navel up to her knees. It is permissible for her to look at the rest of her body if there is no risk of feeling lust. A pious woman should refrain from being seen by an indecent woman, adulteress, shameless, i.e. a pious woman should not remove her scarf in front of her because she will describe her appearance and features to other men. Point 3. A woman looking at a non-mahrim man. Question: can a woman look at a non-mahrim man? Answer: not looking is much safer option. However, there is a case in which this is permissible, but before she looks at him, she should seriously take a very long look at the state of her heart to know whether this glance might push her into a pit of sin. Stating the scenario and the permissibility, the honorable jurists rahmatullahi ta'ala stated, the rule for a woman looking at a non-mahram man is the same as the rule for one man looking at another man. But this is applicable when the woman is certain that she will not feel lust by looking at him. If she even doubts about feeling lust, then she must not look at him. Non-Muslim midwives assisting with childbirth. Question: is a woman allowed to accept a non-Muslim midwife's assistance in the countries where non-Muslims are in the majority? Answer: no. Muslims who live in such countries should already get information about such hospitals where Muslim female doctors, nurses and midwives are available. If there is an emergency, a Muslim midwife is unavailable and there is no alternative either, then in case of necessity, the service of a non-Muslim midwife may be sought. Sadr Sharia Badut Tariqa Alama Maulana Mufti Muhammad Amjad Ali Azmi alayhi rahmatullahi Qawi says, it is not permissible for a Muslim woman to expose her sitr in front of a non-Muslim woman, i.e. a Muslim woman must observe veil with the non-Muslim woman, just as she must do with any non-mahram men. All parts of her body that must remain covered in front of a non-mahram man, must remain covered in front of a non-Muslim woman. It is not uncommon these days for a non-Muslim woman to enter Muslims' homes and Muslim women appear with parts of their sitr exposed just as they appear in front of Muslim women. It is necessary for them to avoid this. Most midwives are non-Muslims and help with childbirth. If Muslim midwives are available, then it is obligatory, meaning fard, to avoid the assistance of non-Muslim midwives in this task, because it is not permissible to expose these body parts in front of non-Muslim women. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Inshallah Azza wa Jal, we'll continue the topic, the sitr of a woman for a man, inshallah, in tomorrow's dars.